What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Is It Worth It? Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I've tried to do this video like 3 or 4 times this morning, and I kept mumbling words or screwing up. Then I finally got what I wanted done. It took me like an hour to finally get everything that I had wrote out said. And I come back, and I'm going to look for more information for the different races that are in the Nosgoth game. And I come to find out the game got taken offline. I didn't know that whenever I was doing the first part of the video. I will try to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future, but you know, it happens. But now I'm on the forum for Square, and I know this is going completely off topic of what the whole reason of this channel is supposed to be. I do apologize in advance, but because I was an idiot and didn't research stuff up before I started typing everything and recording and stuff like that, I made a mistake, and I felt like I still need to talk about it though, because it was a game that I was actually going to do part of the script, then go get my cables and stuff and play the game and see if the game is any good to play and everything like that. I just wanted to get most of the recording out of the way, so later in the evening, whenever I get done playing the game, I can give my honest opinion on it. I can't do that now. It says here on the website, or at least on this thread, that the reason why that the game fell apart was because, and it says it here, it is with a heavy heart and an immense sense of sadness that we must announce the end of Nosgoth's development. Servers will continue to run until 31st of May 2016, during which time you will be able to play the game as normal. After that date, Nosgoth will be taken offline for the last time. This was not an easy decision to come to. It has been a pleasure to build this game with your help, but ultimately its audience hasn't grown enough to sustain ongoing operations. Now, I've read some of the comments, and apparently that's a bunch of bullshit. I told myself I wouldn't cuss that much on this channel, but it is a bunch of BS. Apparently, a lot of users tried to get back to Nosgoth creators, Psyonix, to get some feedback on some problems that they were having. One person actually lost 2 skins on the trade system, and oh man, it's not good. This is not good. A lot of people are wanting or telling each other that they should go and talk to a user called Mama Robotnik to look into all of this. One person here says, "I'm sorry, but the audience was already here. You just effed up the game by not listening to your community." One person actually asked, "This means after the 31st of May I cannot play anymore?" Yes, that's what that means. But okay, that's his join date. I thought that was his comment date. Okay. One other user says, "The not enough players to support the game development is such BS, guys. Seriously, you gave away literally several tens of thousands of dollars on crappy buggy leagues, and after this you have the nerve to say that you don't have enough money. This is ridiculous. It's not the lack of players, it's the business decisions you made and the crappy state of the game that killed it. Don't hide under the not enough players cover." And that is a very popular thing a lot of games that are free to play like this will use, is we don't have enough players to support it. And you know, I would say that 9 times out of 10 those are false, and sometimes there are games who literally they release and they have a huge buzz of players and then it just falls apart. Take Pokemon Go, for example. A lot of players are saying that the game is dying off because there's so many people that are leaving the game because it's not fun for them anymore, and stuff like that. So, says, here's another user called Sasha Vikos. I think that's how you say that. And it says, "This is the worst news ever. I spent 2 years and 2,000 hours on this game. You guys should be ashamed. We gave you plenty of feedback to try to make this game better because we care about it so much. And you always have done the opposite. This is what you really deserve in the end, a great game destroyed by bad decisions. I thank you for the entertainment you gave me these 2 years. I can say the conceit of the game is awesome for," I think it's conceit. That's weird. The game is awesome for real. I hate you because of the development decision and everything that you already know. Please think about it. When the open beta started, we had a peak of 11,000 players. That's not really a lot. After a couple of months, the peak was 1,000 to 1,500 at best, so you couldn't even maintain 2 players out of 10. Every patch, the game got worse and worse. I think you need to make a mea culpa about it. Mea culpa? What? I don't even know what that means. It's not the players that did not want to play the game. The players would have played it if the game would have worked properly and if horrible decisions wouldn't have been taken. So that's in generality what they're all talking about is the game just started falling apart and everything just, it I mean it happens, man. Like it's just games like this, they come and they go. Some of them last a long time, some of them don't. Another person responded to one of the other posts that I think I read earlier. Says, does anyone think these days that games are done for potential gain? They wanted to make the next League of Legends, they failed, and now they don't want to lose more money by keeping Nosgoth alive. That's all, folks. So I have to say this to all the people who didn't know Legacy of Kain, who didn't play any of the original Legacy of Kain games, and they put all this time into Nosgoth. You know how we feel. You know our pain, brothers and sisters. Because we've been waiting for like 2 decades for a new game. We've been waiting for a long time for a new game. Or they have been with the game for 2 decades. We've been waiting for a new game for like 13 years now. So a decade and some change. But it if you are going to make a game like this and you're not going to listen to the community that's built around it, and you have a peak of, like, you can have a peak of 11,000 players at the beginning, but that could always grow. That's going to go down a little bit, but it can grow back. And if you're not going to keep going with it, you're not going to be able to keep this game going. You can't make any game going. So one other person responded to a post. Sorry, I've got a cold. It says, the communication with the community was really bad. The advertisement was basically non-existent. Yeah, you never saw anything about this anywhere. I also think Overwatch and Battleborn had some influence on this. Both games that I won't play because, ironically, I am not into competitive multiplayer games. What brought me here was Legacy of Kain, and I really enjoyed Nosgoth gameplay-wise. I guess you won't hear and see much from me after the end of Nosgoth, since I will go back to my story-driven single-player games, thanks to all of you and the games we played. So, I mean, it happens. I mean, it's a crappy thing, but it does happen. This is what's gonna happen if the game's not gonna work. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are wanting to, or a lot of these users anyway, if any of them randomly come across this video, I know a lot of you guys are wanting to get like private servers set up that people can donate for to keep going, but it's not gonna happen. I mean, once a company already decides to take the game off, I mean that's kind of it, man. I mean it's awful to say. I know it sucks, but if you're not gonna, if the person who makes the game, so in this case Psyonix, isn't going to listen to feedback, and people have been like having all these questions for this amount of time, you're not going to get you're not going to get anywhere. It's the game's just going to get worse and worse. And apparently they didn't even finish with the classes. So if it doesn't tell you how dead this game has become, that they didn't even finish the last 2 classes for it, you really need to look into it. I mean, it's awful. I get that it was your game, it was your baby, you like to play, but you have to understand that you kind of, if you've played Legacy of Kain, then you know how we feel. Or if you hadn't played Legacy of Kain, then you know how we feel. It is garbage. It does suck. It doesn't feel good to know that a game that you have a lot of time and investment in, or at least a series in this instance, is more or less for nothing because it's gone. And I mean, you can still play the game, but like you're not getting a continuation of the story. It'll be the same story every time you play it. Just you have new questions. It happens. I mean, I guess if you think about it, this could be an actual "is it worth it" video. So was Nosgoth worth playing at this point? No, it wasn't. It was garbage. Um, the gameplay itself, a lot of people that I've talked to that actually played it really liked the game. They thought it was good. It was fun. But in the state that it is in right now, it obviously wasn't that fun because it fell apart only after 2 years. And it didn't take long. It was an advert, and nobody knew about it. The only people that knew about it were Legacy of Kain players, and if somebody randomly stumbled upon, upon it and saw it, or randomly saw a video that popped up that had something to do with a video that they just watched. If that was the case, like, that would be it. The game didn't get anywhere because it's gone. And I used to talk about this game all the time on my old channel about how I wasn't going to play it because it wasn't had nothing to do with Legacy of Kain, so I wanted no part of it. And if you think about it, I mean, look at it how it is now. Like, this is what I was talking about. Was exactly what I talked about then. But again, this wasn't exactly the ideal video I wanted to do, and I have been rambling about it. But I mean, what can you do? You can't really do anything. I mean, here it is. But did you anybody who watches this video, did you play Nosgoth? What did you think about it? Did you think it was fun? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Again, this does suck, but I mean, that's gaming. I mean, that's how it is. If you don't listen to the community, your game will fall apart. It will fall to shit. It will just die. But thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.